Hey guys, it's Soyinye here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be discussing things not to say to couples waiting to conceive. Trying to conceive is such a sensitive topic, and it can be a very emotional time for the couples involved. And you, as a family member or as a friend, there might be things that you say, like you just say them carelessly. Out of the goodness of your heart, you mean well, but for the couple at the receiving end, you're either being hurtful or you're being insensitive, or you're making matters worse for them. Because if they're already anxious, there are some questions that you will ask them that will increase their anxiety. If they're anxious about whether it's going to happen for them or not, there are some questions that you ask that will trigger their anxiety, like it will make them to start questioning themselves. It will increase their anxiousness. So in this video, we'll be discussing some of the things not to say to a couple that have not given birth. So there are a whole lot of things that you might say, and for you, you're just asking an innocent question, but for someone that is trying to conceive, it's not a good question. So the first one is this very popular: when are you having kids? First of all, nobody, like, this question is very, very insensitive, and it can be really hurtful, especially for those that have been trying, like those that genuinely want kids. There are a whole number of reasons why this might be happening to them, but aside that, there are people who genuinely don't want kids. Like, there are couples that they get married not because they want to have kids, but because they just want to be together, get old, and move on with their lives. So no matter how good of a person you believe you are, you should never ask someone when are they having kids, because they don't know. Another one is, if you see someone that just got married recently and the person is adding weight, the next thing you start asking that person, has he entered? Or anytime the person tries to greet you, they're looking at you, and then you are looking at their tummy. What are you looking for in their stomach? Why are you looking at their tummy? Anytime you see, maybe the person just finished eating, the next thing you ask that person is, hey, has he entered? Like, how is that your business? If someone doesn't open their mouth to tell you I'm pregnant, it's not your job to start questioning them whether something has entered or not. It's none of your business. Unless they come to you and tell you that they are pregnant, you don't have any business with asking them, has he entered? Or this one you're adding weight, or you start telling them, this one you're adding weight is like something is going on, or things like that. Because there are a whole lot of reasons why someone can add weight. Yes, the person might even be going through fertility treatment, because some fertility treatment makes you add weight. So the person might still be going through fertility treatment, and you're already speculating that they are pregnant. The person might just be adding happy weight, and you just assume that they are pregnant, and you're constantly looking at their tummy, asking them, has anything entered? Or even if you're not close to them, every day you call them, you must ask them, has anything happened? Has he entered? Anytime the person's phone rings and the person sees your name come up as the caller, the person will start having anxiety, because they know that the next question you're going to ask them is, has he entered? So things like this are not something that you need to do, because for people who want children, there is already pressure for them to have kids. You asking them all those things is further making them anxious. So you shouldn't be asking all those kind of things. Or if someone comes to greet you, you'll be looking at their stomach. It's not necessary, because the person will notice. If I'm greeting you, I'm looking at your face, and you're looking at my tummy, there's nobody who will not know that you're looking at my tummy, and I know that you're checking out to see if I'm pregnant. So things like that are not okay at all. Another one is saying to a woman who is trying to conceive that, one touch from my husband, I'm already pregnant. Thank God I don't have this kind of problem. Does she have to know about it? Like, does anyone have to know that one touch from your husband, you're already pregnant? And why, like, this is something that is supposed to be between you and your partner. Why does someone that is trying to conceive need to know that you're one touch, and for them that have been trying for a really long time, nothing has happened for them? That is in fact, those kind of people, you just need to avoid them in your life, because you're bragging to the wrong person. This is someone that is waiting on God to bless them. If you're someone like this, then you're not a good person, because You know that this person genuinely wants children, but then you're bragging about you being able to conceive. Like, are you trying to make them feel less of themselves? Because someone that is already trying to conceive and it's not happening for them, they're already feeling a certain way, and you're making things worse for them. So you saying that is not like, nobody is even supposed to know. It's supposed to be between you and your partner, okay? That you're one touch and you get pregnant is such a blessing, and it's not something to brag about, especially to someone that is trying to conceive. So if you're this kind of person, you need to stop. You really need to stop, because you're not helping anyone with that information. Nobody needs that information, okay? Another one is sending them a happy Mother's Day text or a happy Father's Day text, telling them you celebrate with them in 9 months' time. Who told you that in 9 months' time they're going to have a child or children? Who told you? What if that text makes them more hopeful and in 9 months' time nothing happens? How will you handle it? I know some people always claim that they're doing it in faith, but you're doing it in faith. But as you're doing it in faith, is it helping the people you're doing it in faith for? Because when you're anticipating something and someone adds to your anticipation, you're so hopeful that that thing will happen, and if it ends up not happening, like, your expectations will come crashing down, and it's not okay like that. So instead of adding to their expectation and making them feel like you know that something is going to happen, because you don't know, you're just assuming, and you're just praying about it. Maybe you're praying about it, but you're just assuming that this is going to happen for them. You're not sure that it's going to happen for them. So instead of raising their expectations so high and then it will come crashing down, you don't have any reason for sending anyone any happy Mother's Day text when they're not pregnant, when they've not given birth. You don't have any reason to. So it's not okay at all. You shouldn't be sending someone happy Mother's Day or happy Father's Day when they're not pregnant, they have not given birth. You shouldn't be sending them those kind of texts, because it's not necessary. You're adding stress to their lives. The next one is asking the couple who is causing the problem. So why do you want to know who the problem is from? So you start siding the other person, or you want them to pack out from their matrimonial home. Like, that one is straight up mischievous. I feel like that one is a huge problem. Like, if someone is doing that kind of thing, just know that it's time to cut that person off. Because if you know that a couple is trying to conceive, instead of you to pray for them and with them, you're asking to know who the problem is from. What do you want to use that information and do? You want to start creating segregation, or you want to start playing the blame game so that one of them will start feeling that the other person is inadequate? It's none of your business. You shouldn't be asking a couple who is the problem from when they're trying to conceive. They have one single goal, which is to have children. So you don't have any business trying to know who the problem is from. You're not a doctor. I'm sure they're working it out with their doctor. So you shouldn't ask that kind of question. In fact, if you're someone that asks question like this, that friend or that couple needs to cut you off, because you're not a good person. The next one is telling a couple to just go and adopt. That is straight up offensive, because number one, you're not the custodian of knowledge. Everybody knows that adoption exists, but these people genuinely want to try and have their own children. I'm not saying that adoption is bad, but don't force it down their throats to go and adopt. They already know they have so many options aside trying to conceive. They know that they have adoption, they know they have IVF and all that. You always telling them to go and adopt is not going to solve their infertility issue. It's not going to solve their trying to conceive journey, okay? These people genuinely want to try, and I'm sure that if they try all their options and it doesn't work and they really want to, they will adopt. Always throwing it out to their face to go and adopt is a very offensive thing to do, because it's not like they don't know other options to having children. So if you're like this, you really need to stop. I know you're trying to help, you're trying not to put pressure on them and all, but you're not helping in any way. Okay, you're not helping in any way. When they decide to, they will adopt. You don't need to force it down their throats to go and adopt. That one is telling a couple that is trying to conceive that they should enjoy not having children now. That you know what you're going through, you that have children. For you, this might seem like a very wonderful advice, but you're not helping matters. Everybody knows that having children comes with its own wahala. So you don't have to say things like that just to make them feel better. because you're not helping matters at all. Everybody knows that having children has its own ups and downs, but then those people that are trying genuinely want children with the ups and downs that comes with having children. So it's not your job to tell them that they should enjoy not having children. They already don't enjoy not having children, and now that they are trying to conceive, they want children, so leave them alone. Another one is, trying to say how much you hated being pregnant, how much you had to suffer when you were pregnant. I know you're trying to help, you feel like you're trying to help, but you're really not helping matters at all, because these people that are actively trying to conceive, they want to also go through that. Like, they genuinely want children, so they don't mind having to go through even worse things than you that is highlighting all those issues. So you trying to tell them how much you suffered, how you were always throwing up, how you couldn't eat, how you couldn't do this one and do that one. You're really not helping anybody with that kind of information. So you need to keep it to yourself. It's not the time to start telling them that having children is not good or getting pregnant is not okay, because this is what they genuinely want. And I know for you, you might be feeling like you're trying to calm them down and all, but you're really not helping matters at all. Another one is telling a couple that is trying to conceive to not stress over it, that if they stop trying, that is going to happen. Yeah, this might sound like a good advice, but it's easier said than done. Like, when you're trying to conceive or when you're trying to have children and it's not happening, there's this kind of pressure that it puts on the couple. So you telling them to stop trying and then that it will happen for them, yeah, it's a good advice that they shouldn't be stressed, but it's easier said than done. So not something that you should keep singing into their ears. They already know that they're not supposed to stress. I mean, it's the number one thing they're telling in the hospital. So you constantly singing it into their ears is not helping matters at all. Conversations around infertility, around trying to conceive, can be challenging. It's very important that you're mindful of the things you say, because you might end up saying just one wrong sentence and you're killing the other person on the inside, and you might not even know, because most times when you say all those things and they are hurting, they can't come to you and be like, oh, I don't like this thing you said. They just take it in good faith, or they just take it because they don't want to prolong the matter or prolong the talk. So you need to be mindful of the things you say to a couple that have not given birth. It's very important. You need to be kind. If you don't know what to say, it's better you just keep quiet and just pray for them in your heart, and everybody will move on. It's better you don't say anything at all than saying one hurtful sentence. Okay, that's all I have for this video. Let me know in the comment section what are other things that you feel that shouldn't be said to a couple trying to conceive. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.